Citizen Vigilante was directed by Uwe Boll. It's about an American businessman named Sanders who has taken up residency in Croatia. He begins taking the law into his own hands, becomes a vigilante of justice against people he believes are ruining Europe. He gains viral popularity for his deeds, but he is also being hunted down by the law. Allow me to requote myself from my review of Melania from earlier this year. Hey, for anyone in the back row not paying attention, this is how you review a movie without talking about politics at all, so make sure you pay close attention. You know, I have seen some very controversial films in my life, ones that were condemned by the public, critics, and everyone in between, and I ended up loving some of them. I watched Spit on Your Grave just last week, so there is no film that is off limits to me. If you put it in front of my face, I will watch it. Well, this film is about as popular as Bill Cosby walking into a sorority house, so I had to know what all the hoopla was about. I have some ironic love for a few of Ball's films such as Blood Rain, which I mentioned in my review of Young Washington, and I even kind of enjoy House of the Dead in a get drunk and laugh at ineptitude kind of way. With Citizen Vigilante, Ball wanted to get a message out, and boy, you couldn't miss it even if you tried. There are many sequences in this film where our main character, played by Armie Hammer, talks in front of a camera about all the injustices he is seeing, and how he is taking action until the citizens who are watching him have the courage to take the action themselves. So this guy is basically trying to be V. Okay, I really love that movie. He also has a few chance encounters with a group of young people, 2 males and a female. Their first encounter is when the 3 get on a bus and they refuse to pay the bus fare. Our main character pays it for them, then sits next to one of them with a gun pointed at him from inside his jacket, and talks about how this is a life lesson for them, or something along those lines. So this guy's also trying to be Charles Bronson from Death Wish. Okay, I really like that movie too. Those 2 films were going through my head the entire time I was watching this picture. Even though I know that Uwe Boll isn't known for his quality with films, this picture is some next level bad, and I'm going to defeat it not because of the reasons everyone else has, which is politically and racially. It is stupid even on its own level as a film. Let me explain. Let's talk about how he is driving a judge that he has drugged with heroin to a remote place so he can kill him because the judge was indifferent about 6 teenagers attacking a young lady. This is all fine and dandy. I believe in the rule of law, even if it is slow, but sure, let's follow the power fantasy for a moment. During the car ride, while the judge is in and out of consciousness, our hero is expositing all of his worldly views and how wrong the judge was, but also saying how people are too afraid to bend rules even to save themselves. He demonstrates this by driving his car into oncoming traffic, causing another car to drive off the road, and then the car blows up. He just killed an innocent civilian to prove a point, but yet he says in his videos he wants to give power back to the people. Why the hell would you kill an innocent bystander if you want to empower all the people who aren't elitists who run the world? Still not doing it for you? How about the most hilariously ironic thing of all of them for me? He's complaining about immigrants ruining Europe, and I presume the US as well since he lives there. We even see a guy murder a woman in front of her young son at the start of the film. But the guy who is performing this vigilante justice is himself an immigrant, occupying another country and performing vigilante justice in a country that is not even his own? He's only there because he's operating his father's business with a hands-on approach. Make it make sense, please. Detective Hoffman is the guy from Interpol who is tasked with hunting down this guy, but he may be the worst investigator I have ever seen in my life. Firstly, the film takes place in present time, with all the modern technology and conveniences we have. Our vigilante never wears gloves. He leaves fingerprints all over the place. We even see Detective Hoffman grab a glass our main dude was drinking from to find out his identity. He's supposed to be this wealthy businessman, so why couldn't our lawman just go to his places of business and arrest him there? We see him conducting business a couple of times in this film. It isn't hard to find rich people out in the world. Nope, instead we get him taking a bunch of SWAT team members into, I presume, a house that was registered in his name, which he may have gotten from the fingerprints off of the glass. And this is where the movie went from stupid to just plain awful. Armie Hammer is in a bunker kind of room with 2 automatic weapons aiming out of the bunker. He tells the cops he knows they're just doing their job, but to not get in his way. He then proceeds to murder every single officer in the room. It was around like 8 people. These people had families, maybe spouses, and were just working people like the people he claims to be fighting for. I don't believe any of them were part of a minority group either, so he should have had no quarrel with these officers based on his own logic. But he just murders them anyway. So it was at this point in the film I just realized I'm watching a psychopath who doesn't want a revolution. He just wants an excuse to murder everyone he meets. This is like if Patrick Bateman acted out all of his fantasies, not a call to action of any kind. He meets the 3 youngsters again near the end of the film where they are bullying someone else. He intervenes and breaks the wrists of the 2 guys, and I kid you not, the girl literally teleported out of the movie. There was no shot of her running away, and she wasn't anywhere to be found during an overhead shot of him walking away after he broke these guys' arms. I'd like to point out by this point, this would be considered an open terrorist attack likely in any part of the free world. Federal agents and every member of law enforcement would be looking for this guy with extreme prejudice, and that doesn't even get into the final sequence of the film. The ending involves him going to the house of one of the assault assailants to the young lady I mentioned earlier, holding him and his entire family at gunpoint, forcing the young man to call all of his friends over, the ones who got let off by the judge. He then murders every single person in this family as well as the assailants as they show up. There's all these weird shifts in time that don't make a lick of fucking sense, but unless he killed the judge like 2 hours before going to the family's house, odds are the police and the feds would have been able to piece together why this judge was killed, and at the very least to done a wellness check on the people. We know that the police are aware that he is targeting these criminals as well as another assault case, as Detective Hoffman is informed by the victim herself that he was there earlier in the film. Does Croatia only have cops that didn't graduate 5th grade or something? Okay, so there you go. This movie is completely awful. The editing is complete crap with strange jump cuts that cause the film to not flow organically. It has terrible writing, bad performances. I will say that Armie Hammer is trying to do his best Anton Chigurh voice for the entire film, and it is just freaking pathetic. The effects slow down when people are being murdered, and the blood, prosthetics, and all of it is complete horseshit. When I reviewed Melania earlier this year, I said it was a strong contender for worst film of the year. Well, I think it now has some stiff competition. Even when I watch a movie I hate, I try and find one facet that makes it laughably bad for me, so I'll at least be entertained while I'm watching a shit movie. But the filmmaking here is so awful, and everyone is playing this material completely straight with no ironic twist. I can't even find one thing I find laughably bad. This may be one of the worst fiction films I've seen since The Haunting of Sharon Tate. Just wow. I rate on a 4-star scale, but I'm not giving this movie any stars because it doesn't deserve them. I will give it a golden turkey. This is a fucking reprehensible movie, even within its own rules. I don't need to talk politically about it at all. Did the people in the back take notes again? I defeated it on its own stupidity. So yeah, screw this fucking film. And that is my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please like and subscribe. Here's links to my other videos. Follow me on social media if you like. And until next time, I am Ghost.